You're here, watching this video, and it's no accident. Deep inside, there's a heaviness, a quiet ache that keeps you up at night, wondering if you're enough, if your life matters, if the dreams you once held are slipping away. You've been carrying the weight of disappointment, the sting of rejection, the fear that you're falling behind while the world moves on without you. But right now, in this very moment, God Himself has guided you here, stirring something powerful within your soul. This isn't just another video, it's a divine appointment, a sacred whisper from the Creator of the universe, calling you to awaken. Stay with me until the end, because the truth you're about to hear will ignite a fire in your heart, shift your entire existence, and lead you to a destiny you never thought possible. You've been searching, haven't you? Chasing after things that promise to fill the void: success, relationships, approval from others only, to find yourself emptier than before. Maybe you've poured your heart into a career that drained you, a relationship that left you broken, or a dream that crumbled under the weight of reality. You've stood at the mirror of your life, staring at the pieces of who you thought you'd be, wondering where it all went wrong. God sees that pain. He knows the nights you've cried alone, the moments you've felt invisible, the times you've questioned if you're even worthy of love. But here's the truth He wants you to hear. What you've been searching for isn't out there in the world. It's already within you. You are not a mistake. You are not a failure. You are a divine creation, crafted with a purpose so profound, it echoes beyond the stars. God has placed a spark of His eternal light in your soul, a calling that's been waiting for you to embrace. You're not meant to fade into the background, to shrink under the weight of doubt, or to chase what fades away. You are chosen, handpicked by the Creator, to carry His light, walk in His truth, and live a life that radiates His glory. If you're tired of feeling lost, if your heart is crying out for purpose, don't turn away. Hit that subscribe button to join thousands of others who are rediscovering their divine calling. And leave a comment with the number 1 to declare you're ready to embrace the truth God has for you. Have you ever felt that tug in your spirit? That quiet whisper in the stillness, telling you there's something more, something greater than the life you're living? Maybe it comes in the moments when you're alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you feel so unfulfilled despite everything you've tried. That's not just your imagination, it's God speaking to you, calling you to rise above the chaos of this world. The world is relentless, isn't it? It bombards you with messages that your worth is tied to your bank account, your job title, your social media likes, or the way others see you. It tempts you to chase fleeting pleasures, money, status, validation that crumble like sand in your hands. But God's plan for you is so much bigger. He's calling you to focus on what truly matters. Your connection to Him, the eternal purpose He's woven into your being, the impact you were created to make. When you align your heart with His will, everything else begins to fall into place. Your finances, strained by years of struggle, start to reflect His provision. Your relationships, broken by betrayal or misunderstanding, begin to heal under His guidance. Your health, worn down by stress and worry, starts to renew with His peace. This is the divine order God has designed for you, a life where every step is guided by His hand. If you're weary from chasing the world's empty promises, if you're ready to find true fulfillment, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to affirm your commitment to God's purpose. Think about Moses, a man who stood at the edge of his own doubts, convinced he wasn't enough. He stuttered, he stumbled, he ran from his past, believing his mistakes defined him. Yet God saw something else: a leader, a deliverer, a vessel for miracles. When Moses stopped focusing on his weaknesses and trusted God's plan, the Red Sea parted, a nation was freed, and God's glory shone through him. You're no different. You may feel like your past mistakes, those moments you regret, those choices that haunt you, have disqualified you. You may feel like the world's rejection, the failures you faced, or the dreams that didn't come true have written your story. But God says otherwise. He's chosen you, Not because of where you've been, but because of where He's taking you. What matters most isn't the scars you carry, it's the divine potential God has placed within you. The world will try to define you by what you lack, but God defines you by what He's given you, a purpose that cannot be shaken, a calling that cannot be silenced. If you're ready to let go of your past and step into God's future for you, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment with the number 3 to declare your trust in His plan. The world is loud, isn't it? It screams at you to keep up, to measure up, to prove yourself. It tells you that you're only as good as your last achievement, your latest purchase, or the approval of those around you. Maybe you've felt the sting of comparison, scrolling through social media, seeing others who seem to have it all together while you're barely holding on. Maybe you've felt the weight of expectations from family, friends, or even yourself pushing you to chase things that don't last. Money fades, status shifts, approval comes and goes, but God's truth remains forever. In Matthew 6:33, He says, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." When you shift your focus to what matters most, your relationship with God, your eternal purpose, everything else begins to align. Your life becomes a living testament to His power, a proof that His promises never fail. You weren't created to chase the world's fleeting rewards. You were created to build a legacy of faith, to shine as a beacon of God's love, to transform the lives around you with His light. If you're exhausted from running after things that don't satisfy, if you're ready to find true peace, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to signal your commitment to God's eternal truth. The path to your purpose isn't always smooth. You know that, don't you? There are days when the weight of the world feels too heavy, when doubts creep in like shadows, whispering that you're not good enough, that you've missed your chance, that your dreams are too big for someone like you. There are moments when life feels like a battlefield: financial struggles, broken relationships, health challenges, or the crushing weight of loneliness. Those trials aren't here to destroy you, they're here to refine you, to shape you into the person God created you to be. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into a prison cell, forgotten by those he helped. He could have given up, could have let bitterness consume him, but he kept his eyes on God's promise. In time, God lifted him from the pit to the palace, using him to save nations. Your struggles are not the end of your story, they're the beginning of your testimony. Every tear you've cried, every door that's closed, every dream that's faded is an opportunity for God to show His power in your life. If you're in the middle of a trial, feeling like you're stuck in a pit, don't lose hope. Subscribe now to join a community of believers walking through the fire, and leave a comment with the number 1 to declare you're trusting God to lead you out. When you focus on what matters most, your connection to God, your divine purpose, something miraculous begins to happen. The heaviness you've carried starts to lift. The heart that's been broken begins to heal. The mind clouded by doubt clears with divine clarity. This isn't just a change in how you think, it's a transformation from the inside out, a renewal that reflects God's glory in every part of your life. People will notice. They'll see a spark in your eyes, a strength in your spirit, a peace that doesn't make sense in the midst of your circumstances. Your finances, strained by years of struggle, will begin to flow, not because you chased wealth, but because you chased God's purpose. Your relationships, fractured by pain or misunderstanding, will start to mend them because you forced them, but because you trusted God's timing. Your health, worn down by stress or illness, will begin to renew it because of a quick fix, but because God's divine energy is restoring your body, mind, and soul. In John 15:16, Jesus says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit that will last." You were chosen for a purpose that goes beyond this world, a calling to leave a legacy that echoes into eternity. If you're ready to step into this transformation, to let God's light shine through you. Subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to claim your divine destiny. The enemy doesn't want you to focus on what matters most. He wants you distracted, chasing things that don't last: money, fame, approval. He wants you to doubt your worth, to question God's plan, to believe the lie that you're not enough. Maybe you've heard those whispers in the quiet moments. You've failed too many times. You're too broken to be used. Your dreams are out of reach. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. You are sealed by God's protection, covered by His grace, empowered by His Spirit. Isaiah 54:17 declares, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." The enemy may try to distract you, but he cannot stop you. Your light is too bright, your purpose too strong, your God too powerful. Think of Daniel, thrown into a den of lions because of his faith. The world expected him to be devoured, but he kept his eyes on God. God shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel walked out unharmed, a living testament to God's power. You are Daniel in this moment. The lions in your life fear, doubt, reject, roar, but they cannot touch you when you're covered by God's protection. If you're facing those lions, if you're ready to stand firm in God's truth, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 3 to declare your trust in His protection. When you align with what matters most, something supernatural happens. Your spirit begins to radiate a light that the world cannot ignore. People will notice a change in you, a peace that holds steady through storms, a strength that defies explanation, a joy that shines even in the darkest moments. This isn't about looking good on the outside. It's about the divine glow that comes from walking in God's purpose. Your presence becomes a testimony, a living proof that God is at work in your life. Think of Esther, a young woman who could have stayed silent, hidden in the crowd, afraid to step into her calling. But she chose to focus on God's plan for her people. Because of her courage, an entire nation was saved. You are Esther right now. God has placed you in this specific time, in this specific place, for a reason. Your life is not a series of random events. It's a divine story, orchestrated by the Creator Himself. When you embrace what matters most, you step into a role that changes not just your life, but the lives of those around you. If you're ready to rise into your purpose, to make a difference for God's kingdom, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to claim your divine calling. Pause for a moment and feel the weight of this truth. You're standing at a crossroads, where the old youth one weighed down by doubt, fear, and failures fading away. God is raising up a new you, a chosen one, a vessel of His light, a warrior of His purpose. Don't let this moment pass you by. Hit the like button to send this divine energy into the universe. Subscribe to join thousands of others walking this path of spiritual awakening. And leave a comment with the number 1 to declare that you're ready for God's transformation. This is your time to rise, to shine, to focus on what matters most. The world may try to pull you back, tempting you with distractions, whispering doubts, feeding your fears. But you are stronger than that. You are a divine warrior, armed with God's truth, shielded by His grace, guided by His Spirit. In Romans 8:28, we're reminded, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. You are called. Every trial, every challenge, every moment of doubt is being woven into a tapestry of divine victory. Your breakthrough isn't just coming, it's already unfolding. If you're ready to step into this new season with faith and courage, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to signal your trust in God's plan. It's time to let go of what's holding you back. Those doubts that whisper you're not enough, they're not from God. That fear that keeps you playing small, it's not your truth. Those distractions pulling you away from your purpose, they're not your destiny. Let go of the lies that have defined you, the burdens that have weighed you down, the expectations that have crushed your spirit. When you release the old, You make room for the new blessings, new opportunities, new victories. Imagine a life where every step is guided by God's hand, every decision rooted in His truth, every moment filled with His peace. That's what happens when you focus on what matters most. Your life becomes a reflection of His glory, a beacon of His love, a testament to His power. People will look at you and wonder what's changed. They'll see the confidence in your steps, the joy in your heart, the light in your eyes. They'll be drawn to the divine glow within you, not because of what you've achieved, but because of who you are in God. If you're ready to let go of the old and embrace the new, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 3. To declare your readiness for God's blessings. When you focus on what matters most, God opens doors that no one can shut. Revelation 3:8 says, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. These aren't ordinary doors, they're divine opportunities. Moments where God aligns people, resources, and circumstances to fulfill His plan for your life. You may not see them yet, but they're there, waiting for you to step through in faith. Think of David, a shepherd boy overlooked by the world, dismissed as insignificant. But when he focused on his faith in God, he faced giants, became a king, and left a legacy that inspires us today. You are David. The giants in your life fear. Financial struggles, broken relationships, unfulfilled dreams, are no match for the God who fights for you. When you keep your eyes on what matters most, God leads you to victories you never thought possible. If you're facing giants that feel too big, if you're ready to trust God's power, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to affirm your faith in His victory. When you align with God's purpose, you walk with a confidence that cannot be shaken. This isn't the fleeting confidence of the world, built on pride or temporary success. This is the confidence of a chosen one, rooted in the truth of who God says you are. You are His child, His masterpiece, His warrior. When you embrace this truth, you carry yourself differently. Your steps are sure, your heart is steady, your spirit is strong. Think of Joshua, standing before the towering walls of Jericho. The world saw an impossible obstacle, but Joshua saw God's promise. He didn't focus on the size of the walls, he focused on the size of his God. And those walls came crashing down. You are Joshua. The walls in your life doubt, fear, failure are no match for the God who fights for you. When you focus on what matters most, those walls will fall, and you'll step into the promised land God has prepared. If you're ready to tear down the walls holding you back, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 1 to declare your trust in God's power. It's time to stop running from your calling, hiding from your purpose, ignoring the truth God has placed in your heart. He's ignited a divine fire in your soul, a light that cannot be dimmed, a purpose that cannot be denied. The world may try to hold you back, the enemy may try to distract you, but God is propelling you forward. In Psalm 139:14, we're reminded, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God didn't create you to blend in, He created you to stand out. He didn't create you to settle, He created you to soar. If you're ready to rise into the fullness of who God created you to be, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to claim your divine destiny. When you focus on what matters most, you're not just living for today, you're building a legacy that will last for generations. Your life is not just about you, it's about the impact you'll leave on the world. Your faith, your courage, your obedience are planting seeds that will bear fruit long after you're gone. Think of Abraham, whose faith didn't just change his life, it changed the course of history. He became the father of nations because he trusted God's promise. You are creating a legacy like that. Every step you take in faith, every moment you choose to focus on God's purpose, is planting a seed for future generations. Your children, your family, your community, they will be blessed because of your obedience. If you're ready to build a legacy that glorifies God, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 3 to declare your commitment to his purpose. The enemy wants you to doubt your worth, to believe you're not enough. Maybe you've felt that lie in the moments when you've compared yourself to others, when you've looked at your life and seen only what's missing. But God says you are more than enough. You are his masterpiece, his chosen vessel, his beloved child. When you focus on what matters most, you begin to see yourself the way God sees you: worthy, capable, destined for greatness. Let go of the lies that have held you back, the fears that have kept you small. God's favor surrounds you like a shield. Psalm 5:12 says, "Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor, as with a shield." This favor opens doors no one can shut, brings opportunities no one can take away, protects you from every attack of the enemy. If you're ready to walk in God's favor, to embrace his protection, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to claim his blessings. Look at Ruth, a woman who lost everything: her home, her security, her hope. She could have given up, could have let despair define her. But she focused on her faith, and God placed her in the lineage of Jesus, blessing her beyond her wildest dreams. You are Ruth. Your losses are not the end, there, the beginning of God's redemption. When you focus on what matters most, God turns your mourning into dancing, your sorrow into joy, your lack into abundance. If you're ready to see God restore what's been taken, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 1 to declare your faith in his restoration. God's timing is perfect. You may feel like you've been waiting too long, like your dreams are slipping away, like life has passed you by. Maybe you've watched others move forward while you're stuck, wondering if God has forgotten you. But Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Your life is unfolding exactly as God planned. Think of Sarah, who waited decades for the promise of a child. The world said it was impossible, but she trusted God's promise. In his perfect timing, Isaac was born, fulfilling God's plan. You are Sarah. Your waiting is not in vain, it's preparation for the promise. If you're tired of waiting, if you're ready to trust God's timing, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to affirm your faith in his plan. You are covered by God's protection. Psalm 91:4 says, "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge." No matter what the enemy throws at you, fear, failure, rejection, God's protection is your shield. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, thrown into a fiery furnace for their faith. They didn't focus on the flames, they focused on their God, and they walked out victorious, untouched by the fire. You are them. The fires of life may rage, but God walks with you through them, and you'll come out stronger. If you're facing fiery trials, if you're ready to trust God's protection, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 3 to declare your trust in his power. When you focus on what matters most, you tap into a joy that the world cannot give or take away. Nehemiah 8:10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." This joy isn't tied to your circumstances, it's rooted in your connection to God. Think of Paul, imprisoned, persecuted, yet writing, "Rejoice in the Lord always." I will say it again, rejoice. Philippians 4:2-4. His joy wasn't bound by chains, it was anchored in his Savior. You are Paul. Your joy is a testimony that inspires others, a strength that makes you unshakable. If you're ready to embrace this joy, to let it be your strength, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to claim God's joy. You are not created to drift through life, lost in the mundane, weighed down by routine. You were created to make a difference, to leave a mark, to change the world. God has placed a unique calling on your life, a purpose only you can fulfill. Think of Jonah, who ran from his calling, afraid of what God was asking. But God pursued him, redirected him, and used him to save a city. You are Jonah. God is calling you back to your purpose, realigning your heart, preparing you for the impact you were created to make. If you've been running from your calling, if you're ready to embrace it, Subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 1 to declare your readiness for God's purpose. When you focus on what matters most, God reshapes every part of your being. Your mind is renewed, your heart restored, your spirit reignited. This is a divine transformation, like a caterpillar emerging as a butterfly. The world may not see it yet, but when you step out of your cocoon, you'll shine with God's radiance. Your life will become a testament to His power, a beacon of His love. If you're ready to emerge as the person God created you to be, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 2 to claim your transformation. God is bringing the right people into your life, divine connections that will support and uplift you. Like David and Jonathan, whose friendship was a gift from God. These relationships will strengthen your purpose. Let go of toxic connections that dim your light, that drain your spirit, that doubt your dreams. God is clearing the way for relationships that aligned with His plan. If you're ready to embrace divine connections, to surround yourself with people who uplift your purpose, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 3 to declare your trust in God's provision. You're also receiving divine wisdom. Proverbs 2-6 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From His mouth come knowledge and understanding." This wisdom guides your decisions, clarifies your path, protects you from the enemy's schemes. Like Solomon, who sought wisdom above all else. You'll be blessed beyond measure when you focus on God's truth. If you're ready to walk in God's wisdom, to make decisions aligned with His will, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 4 to claim His guidance. God is restoring everything the enemy has stolen. Joel 2:25 promises, "I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten." Your losses, those years of pain, those broken dreams, those moments of despair, not the end. They're the beginning of God's redemption. You're stepping into a season of divine restoration, where everything aligns with His purpose. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine." That's the God you serve, God who overflows with abundance. If you're ready to receive God's restoration, to step into His abundance, subscribe now and leave a comment with the number 1 to declare your faith in His promises. This is your moment. You're standing at a divine crossroads, where the old, broken, doubting, afraid is fading away. God is raising up a new you, a chosen one, a vessel of His light, a warrior of His purpose. You're not just another face in the crowd. You are chosen, loved, destined for greatness. The world may have told you you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your past defines you. But God says otherwise. He sees the masterpiece He created you to be. He sees the impact you'll make, the lives you'll touch, the legacy you'll leave. Don't ignore this truth. Embrace it. Live it. Let it transform every part of your life. Hit that subscribe button to join thousands of others on this journey. And leave a comment with the number 2 to declare that you're ready for God's plan.